Hello, welcome to this week's Astro Report and three-card tarot spread. I'm Desiree, your intuitive counselor here at Soulpath Astrology. If this is your first time here, welcome, my friends. If you're returning, it's always great to see you again. Soulpath is a channel that's about using what's available, whether that's astrology, gene keys, human design, 16 personalities like Myers-Briggs, my own personal life's errors, trials, and learning curves, whatever it takes to help you attune to your inner guidance system, to strengthen your intuition, and to bolster your courage to act on what you find in there. That's what this channel is about. I really believe that what the world needs more than anything else right now are individual people that are lit up in their own juices, in their own gifts, and in service to the greater whole. With that is where we're going to find so much healing and growth. Really, the more that we can align, clear, and become present in our own space, where we can end the war within between our head and the heart, where we can unify our own purpose, our own energy, make our heart wishes come true through action, that is going to naturally and organically lead to a happier, more whole world. So that's what I'm doing here. Welcome to this week. Let's jump right in. The card reading is so powerful this week. I'm like super excited to jump into that. But we'll get to that in a minute. Just to let you know, if you're new here, how this works. I'm going to talk about the Astros to give us sort of a framework, if you will, for the basic feeling of what's going on in the coming week, followed by a little grounding meditation just to get us to both arrive in this space. You'll have an opportunity to choose from 3 cards. 1, 2, or 3 of them might resonate more for you. Then you can timestamp, fast forward to the one that most aligns, or listen to all 3 because they often do go together really well. Okay, love you. Also, at the end, sometimes I get this cool little download, whatever it is, this little inspo that is a lovely little nugget to take forward with you. So I do I encourage you to watch right to the end. There's usually some good stuff there. Okay, so Astros, we have a busy week. We have a powerful week, you guys. It's Leo season. We have a full moon this week. We have a kite with Mars. We have some Mars Pluto energy with the tail end of a Mercury retrograde. This is really like I spoke, I think it was last week, maybe the week before, about Pluto. Pluto is like the Tower card, and that's pretty prophetic. I'll get to that later. But this week is really asking you. There's a lot of like deep feminine energy, the dark goddess stuff, Kali stuff coming up too, of going into the depths, really looking at those places that you've been hiding from, really looking at where do you drive your motivation? Like, take some time today with this week, really. We've got Mars doing this really interesting dynamic. He's creating a kite with in Libra, I should say. And it's really about like, think of it like pulling back an arrow, and Mars is the arrow. And it's like, where are you aiming that? Like, Libra is all about fairness, it's about group dynamics, it's about beauty, it's about balance. And Mars is like this doing energy, and it's very powerful in terms of like its driving force. So the question is, what are you using as your driving force? Are you unconsciously running from what you don't want? Are you unconsciously clinging to stuff that hurts? Because if you stay stuck, then you get to avoid the fear of doing something new. Like, it can be really sneaky. And this is what's coming up. This is the invitation, is into these places in our life where maybe you have been spinning in circles, claiming that you've tried everything to fix something, to let go of something, to heal something. But in point of fact, you've been trying everything, but underneath it, there's this not wanting it to actually be fixed, not actually wanting to move forward, because inherent in that is this mystery that can be scary. You know what it's like to have this heartache. You know what it's like to have this health issue. You know what it's like to always be running on the ragged edge of your finances. You know what it's like to always feel left out, whatever it is, right? You know that feeling. And so it's familiar to your nervous system. And what this week is asking you to do is deep dive into those places. Where are you stuck? Like, take a really clear look at yourself. Take a unflinching but kind look at these places where you might be getting stuck. The full moon in Aquarius on the 9th is going to be a beautiful time to bring those places to your awareness. Like if you can take the time this week to sort of set that intention, maybe you pray or ask for guidance around being shown where you're stuck because it can be hard, right? Like if it was easy, we would do it. If we could see our blind spots, most of us would likely fix those blind spots, but they're often hidden to us, hence blind spots. So, where can you bring your conscious awareness? Maybe you need to invite in a coach. Maybe you need to invite in your own tarot spread to help you see where you're getting stuck. Maybe you just need to pray. Maybe you need to journal, but do what you need to do and like set the tone for being willing to see the crunchy, cringy parts because if you can just own them, then you can stop being held prisoner by them. It's what releases us, right? It's what allows us to move forward in a way that is more aligned, is more open. And yeah, it might be scary because you don't know, but there's freedom in that. We liberate ourselves from these patterns that we have been stuck in because there's some kind of payoff, and that payoff is safety. So, what can you do to regulate your nervous system? What can you do to ask for clarity? Because if your nervous system is regulated, is dysregulated, if you already feel tension, fear, concern, puppy dog stealing your cards off the table, if you're already feeling uptight and rigid like this, you're not going to have the spaciousness to receive what you need to hear. So this is where I'm inviting you into spaciousness. I'm inviting you into using this full moon on Sunday as an opportunity to see. And it's in Aquarius, which is like above the fray. Aquarius thinks its feelings, if you will. It can has this beautiful capacity to step outside of being like embroiled in the emotional experience and can witness it. And there's value in that because when you can create some space, when you can see how you're feeling and why you're feeling it, then you can start to have a little bit more perspective on how to shift gears and get unstuck, how to unstuck yourself. Okay. What else can we mention? Oh, Sunday, August 11th, Mars trines Pluto. So this is what's so cool. So this week, with that initial kite, there's that invitation into like starting to ask the questions. Where am I pointing my arrow? Where am I pointing my focus? Am I moving out of fear or towards what my soul or my heart are longing for? Then we've got this full moon that's showing us on the 9th. Where is it stuck? What is going on? And then on the 11th, oh, and we have on the 8th, 8 Lionsgate portal. So this is a numerological type thing. It's supposed to be where we're most aligned with Sirius, but that actually happened like in point of fact, it happened in July. But there's still this potent energy around Lionsgate portal right now. So again, this like moving through, to me, a portal, like it's like this, it's like a birth canal. So what is getting squeezed out right now so that you can surrender it, so that you can let it go, so that you can grow from it, so that you can evolve through it and come out the other side. So that's on the 8th. Then on the 11th, we've got that the trine, the Mars Pluto trine. And that is really like, yeah, anytime Mars and Pluto hook up, there's some really, and on top of that, Mercury is also in the mix. It's its final day of being in retrograde. So that final crunchy, like looking inward thing, how do you communicate? What do you most need to say? This was a theme last week. It's continuing this week. Is there something that you need to say? Is there, we'll call it an ugly truth that is needing you to just own it? And maybe it's your own ugly truth with respect to where you've been stuck. Maybe the stuckness is actually coming from this unwillingness to have a hard conversation with somebody outside of yourself because you don't want to hurt their feelings, you don't want to rock the boat, and so that tendency, maybe that's the thing that has been holding you back. And having those direct conversations and asking directly for what you need is what's that existential terror about doing that, but maybe that's the very medicine that you need right now. Pluto is disruptive. Mars fires it up. Like there's this beautiful energy here supporting you to let go of what's no longer serving. And it ties in so beautifully with the card. So we're going to jump in with that after we do our little grounding meditation. So I want to invite you into this space, arriving, noticing your butt in the chair, noticing yourself in the space that you take up. Notice the air around you. What do you hear? Can you smell anything? Can you taste anything? Can you feel your breath as it moves through you? Closing your eyes, I want to invite you into 3 deep cleansing breaths, starting with the exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale with a sigh. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale. Arriving in your body. When you're ready, open your eyes. It's so important to take these moments to just land here in this body, in this time, in this space. For this present moment. Okay, so here's our 3 cards this week. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so here we go. Card 1. This was you. This is what you got, the Fool card. So this is really cool how much it ties into that new energy, that releasing your identity that you have wrapped up around being the heartbroken one, being the sick one, being the tired one, being the broke one, being the never supported one, being the always tired one. Like, what is that? And can you let it go? Can you be kind around recognizing that that was something that maybe was protecting you or was helpful? But now there's an elevated way of getting those needs met. The Fool card is asking you to step outside of the known. It's inviting you into a whole new self-concept, a whole new journey. The Fool card marks the beginning of the hero's journey in the Major Arcana card. It's the very first one, and it's the 0. The 0 encompasses everything. It is the alpha and the omega at once, where the beginning and the end reside in a single spot. Using that Mars energy that I was talking about earlier, that arrow, well, it's in that kite formation. Where do you want to aim? Where do you want to start coming from if you're not running from your pain, but rather moving towards your joy, moving towards what calls you? How can you land more fully in your body so you can be present for this experience? The Fool card is asking you to do something totally different and be willing to not know. Be willing to reside in the mystery. Be willing to follow what excites you, not knowing what the final destination is. So that's the Fool card. I hope that that landed. If you want to deep dive and get a reading of your own with these, where we can go deep, that's specific to you, because these, of course, are general readings, you can find a link to my calendar in the comments and in the description of the card. Okay, let's move on. Card number 2. This was your selection. You got the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is kind of like who Jordan Peterson was at the beginning. He's that energy of like cutting through the chaos, cutting through just like the word salad, cutting through where things sound good, but they don't make any sense actually when you feel into them. The King of Swords is like very logical, very dry, but like in a needed way, like in a sea of mossy confusion and like, ugh, I don't know what makes sense. Calling in the King of Swords energy. This is your logical mind that is disimpassioned, that just sees it for what it is, that can parse its way through the jargon and the bullshittery and can get to the truth of the matter, can get to the heart of the matter. And so if this is your card, maybe there's something going on in your life that's requiring you to cut to the chase. It's requiring you to get to the heart of the matter. With respect to what I spoke earlier about with the Astros and how this might be you needing to come to your own sort of come to Jesus talk about where you are getting in your own way, calling on the King of Swords will help you get clarity around that. Calling on that energy of that discernment, that which can cut through your own well-woven storyline, especially if this is something you've been stuck with for a very long time. I can guarantee you there is so many threads that are weaving that story together, and it can seem like really hard to parse out. But you know what? Once you start to cut through the bullshit, it starts to just unravel on its own. And what's really interesting about that is when it starts to unravel, we get this card, our third, one of my personal favorites, the Tower card, Pluto's card. This is where the universe is striking down any and all wobbly foundations. This is where you're having this beautiful opportunity to take stock of your life, of your belief systems, of what you're doing, why you're doing it. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to wholesale like revamp your entire life, though you might. It isn't necessary to do a whole control alt delete, but it is necessary to make some active changes. Like the time for excuses, the time for repeating the same pattern, the time for just being gentle on yourself about it. Like, no. And you don't have to do every aspect, just pick one. Pick the one that feels like most alive, most potent, maybe most problematic, and just deep dive into it. Let life in this Tower card energy, let it break apart and show you where the cracks are, show you where the wobbles are, so that you can let the rubble fall and you can find and pick through with that King of Swords energy the correct blocks to lead forward, to start to rebuild your foundation as you start something totally new. As you approach your life with this entirely new energy that is, there's a degree of innocence in it. The Fool card and starting anew and like the aftermath of the Tower card, it's very much an innocence. It's this rebuilding. There is no need for shame. There's no need for guilt. This is an opportunity for simply observing, using that King of Swords energy to observe and just take logical account of what has been working and what has not. Why you do it isn't even relevant. How long you've been doing it, irrelevant. What is relevant is what are you going to be doing moving forward? Mars, Pluto, Mercury retrograde. What is ready to be let go? Hope that landed. If you want a reading, you know where to find me. The link to my calendar is in the comments in the description. If you haven't yet and you find value in these, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. And if you know anyone who might find value in these, share it. Listen, I know that it feels chaotic. This is like, whoo, energy. And the Leo season energy is just amplifying it. But there is a version of you that is so ready to come out of the chrysalis. Leo season is so much about this, like really stepping into your light, really stepping into this full expression of yourself. And whatever it is that is being asked for you to look at here, it's what's in the way of that full expression. It's taking this risk of being fully embodied, taking the risk of being fully honest with yourself and then with those around you, and coming from a place of authenticity, of truth, of alignment, and allowing it to maybe be messy, or, you know, that Libra energy that we've got going on that wants everything to be all pretty. It's trust that Mars in Libra is going to make sure that it settles out okay. Like it isn't going to be as bad as you think. It might be messy, but it's the cleaning it up that is going to create the spaciousness so you can have the healing to move forward, so that you can have the clarity to move forward, so that you can feel more aligned, feel more empowered, and feel more like you're you doing you and not living someone else's life through you. So I hope that landed. Know that I love you, my friends. Every week is such a joy for me to share with you, and I look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday. Bye for now.